What it do? What it do? What it do?
Oh, snap.
Do it. The one, the two, the firm. Pressure. Podcast. What's happening, everybody? You know what I'm saying? We in this thing. Ulysses. What's happening, bro?
Oh, man. Listen, y'all. Y'all see it up there. Stop playing fair.
Mm,
I, 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 I don't know what's going to happen tonight, but what I do know is this.
Uh,
It's going to be some very interesting conversation for sure. So we're looking forward to it. Looking forward to what are we even talking about when we say stop playing fair? I know
mm-hmm,
for I listen. This,
mm-hmm.
is- this is all about pressure. So I know for some of y'all church folk, all I can do is laugh at this point. Is
Ready, man. They pass ready, man. That's the funny part about it.
right. So
Uh,
so without further ado, y'all, we'll be right back after these important introductions.
what it do? What it do? What it do? Welcome to the Firm Pressure Podcast with your host Flavius and Ulysses. Man, we appreciate everybody popping in, dropping in. If anybody doesn't know, now you do know. You better know. Better recognize. It is what we do. Ulysses, man, tell them what we do, bro.
This is what we do, y'all. We are having an intense conversation. We're having controversial conversation, but we are still having conversation nonetheless.
Right, right, right.
That's what we agree upon. But listen, if y'all haven't already, make sure you go to Facebook at the firm 365 24/7 is where you'll find us there on YouTube. Find us at the firm 365. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow. And don't forget also the Instagram at the firm 365 24/7 is where you'll find us there. But more importantly, for those who are watching on YouTube, for those who be popping in on Facebook, make sure you go ahead and hit that like button. Matter of fact, put a heart in that. Heart that button. Comment. Don't be a stranger. Have these conversations. And most importantly, last but not least,
Yes,
make sure
sir.
you share. Make sure you share. Let
Uh,
your people know. Let your peoples know that we are live, that we are in color, and we are engaging in some dope, entertaining, informative, and amazing conversation. And
is that
what
right?
listen, y'all, stop playing fair.
Mm,
What?
mm,
Stop
mm,
playing fair. Like, bro, bro, when you came up to me and you were like, Ulysses, we got to stop playing fair. I
mm.
looked at that thing. I mean, you told me that thing, and bro, and I was just like, now, Flav, you know, you know what this is going to stir up. You know
What's
the
that?
raw emotion is going to come out of this. You know that what, especially things that I've experienced and dealt with. You
Uh,
know, you know that it's about to be a firestorm brewing for sure.
that's why I brought the, you know what I'm saying? You know that Bible that you know what I'm saying? It's like roughed up. You know what I'm saying? That's the headphones I got on today. I had to bring in the, you know what I'm saying, the ones I don't
Mhm.
normally do.
What's
Can you
going
hear me?
on, Poseidon?
Too? What's going on? What's going on?
Hi, how are you? But Flav, man, um, gotta be honest with you, man.
Let's go, man.
I just want I'm Puerto Rican, right? And
Oh,
y'all, we're about to engage in this conversation a little bit, but
uh,
we gotta do our hellos and greetings and all that stuff. So in the
right, right.
comment section, tell us how was your Thanksgiving weekend? How was your Thanksgiving weekend? Did you guys have a good time with
Man,
family and friends and all that stuff? But
yeah.
Flav,
Huh?
I'm I'm Puerto Rican, right? I'm a
Okay,
I'm a Boricua. You know,
for sure.
two things that I want to address. Number one is I thought that salsa music was one of the hardest dances anybody would ever learn because
Salsa?
because you got the hip movement, right? You got the hip movement, you got the step, the back and forth and the whole nine. And then
Yeah.
the man's job when it comes to salsa is to lead, right? So you gotta know how to
Right,
twist, how to
right. Y'all
turn,
serious about
and
that?
all. Bruh,
Yeah.
over the weekend, I'm a man. I'm a man. So I know when to admit when I'm wrong.
Mm,
Country line dancing
mm.
was the most interesting, ridiculous. I can't tell you how many steps and legs going this way, knees going that way, having to turn around. And I mean, I've never seen anything like this, bruh. Never seen.
Hey, listen. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, bro, let's just put it out there. I'm black.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow,
If
that's a
you ask anybody in my real family, I might have at one point grew up believing that I was like, baby Michael Jackson or something. I don't know.
I
But if you
believe.
ask them,
I
they
believe it.
they might say I walked around with church shoes and was moonwalking in the wrong
Look,
time,
I,
wrong occasion. You
I've
know what
seen
I'm
Slave dance. I've seen
saying?
Slave dance. I've seen them dance.
You know what I'm saying? What I will say is, sometimes, you know, what was you saying
About what?
about your aerobics and your calisthenics and your workout plan that you had went to the gym for, and you had got down with the Latin people and they was all up in the place. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? To be kind of like El Paso where we met, and they was wait a minute. Hold on. You didn't say that was Planet Fitness, did you? You said
no,
that
no,
was
no, no.
salsa line dancing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was a barn.
Yeah, you
It
had
was a
went out
barn.
there in 2023.
It was a barn, bro. It was a barn. It was a barn
Hey man, some things you gotta be in shape for, man. Some
for
things you
real.
gotta be in shape for,
It's
bro.
funny, Alex.
Listen, hey, when you first posted it, I'm gonna be your boy to know. You know what I'm saying? But when you had first posted it, I swore like I be watching that. It was like a guilty pleasure watching Latinos go hard. You feel? Because it's a whole different thing. It don't matter what the music is. And
Right.
then, what I'm saying, Asians be, what I'm saying, they be going hard too. As a black man, I gotta respect it. You know what I'm saying? But y'all like, here's the thing about y'all. And as y'all, you know what I'm saying, you better take some pride in y'all. You feel me? But either way, the
What?
Latino,
Ah,
you know what I'm saying, y'all know how to dance just like black folks. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be, but the range of coverage of ground, like geographically, that y'all can cover in the midst of one dance and then transition into a whole nother step. Like y'all, like it's like soccer and dance at the same. It's, you got to be in shape, bruh.
gotta be in shape.
Did you get out there?
I did. You know,
Okay.
they were
Okay.
like, they
You
were
ain't
like, hey, they were like,
yeah.
hey, um, any newbies in the building? Any newbies in the building? You know, and I'm like, right here,
Yeah.
newbie in the building, right here. So it was a handful of us, and so they gave us like simple steps to do,
Okay.
but it came in like in three different phases. You know what I mean? It was a step over here, and then you do a in the military we call them not an about face, but a left turn. You know, the pivot.
School. I
Uh huh.
got you. Damn.
That's,
School.
we did,
Okay.
so we did a there was one that was like put your right foot out and act
Yeah.
like you're stomping out the cigarette. Put the left
Oh.
foot out like you're stomping out the cigarette,
Oh.
and then right
Ah,
foot out, left foot out, right foot out, left foot out. Turn, do like a rodeo thing, like woo, and then
yeah.
start over again. Yeah. So
Oh.
we did all that stuff, and it was like a 5 minute song. So by the time you're done, oh mind you, they want you to stomp too. They
Man.
want you to stomp, bro. And
Sweet.
with my knees, the way my knees are set up these days,
I
my knees still.
like a full court press.
I had to apologize to my knees this weekend. I'm so sorry, babies. I'm
Hey,
so
man,
sorry.
it's the effort that counts. They say on, when it's about a woman. What about a man? You know what I'm saying? It's the effort that counts. You know what I'm saying? You was out there.
I was out there, bro.
You know what I mean?
Listen,
Family.
my parents were with me. They're 66, and
Yeah.
I can't let them outdo me. Mm-mm. I can't.
Right.
And my parents love the dance. My parents, when they grew up in Puerto Rico, and they were actually in the town of Guamo, they were actually salsa king and queen.
Oh.
So they know how to dance.
Oh man, I was in the talent show in 1990. Ah, get your parents up in this.
Look, my dad's the one who taught me how to do the robot.
I said, the robot,
Uh huh.
uh,
The
Mr.
80s,
Senor Rodriguez.
the 80s,
You ain't
and then I learned how to perfect the worm. Just
worm.
hmm
I said,
now we're telling our age a little bit, but
yeah, I was doing that back before I was 10, man. You know what I'm saying? I
we
just told you I
digress.
was Michael
We
Jackson.
digress. We digress.
Anyway,
So number one, my
the
weekend
lady,
was good, right? My weekend had me a realization that salsa, merengue, bachata is not the hardest dance you'll ever learn. Country
mm,
line dancing, for sure, has reached my number one spot. Number
what kind
two,
of music was they listening to?
they was playing country music, and they had like a mix of like old hip hop songs, like R&B songs to country. I mean, the coolest thing. I mean, it was a good environment, dope environment. Loved it. Number two, though. Number
Yeah.
two, bro.
Okay.
I thought Puerto Ricans love ketchup.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a hot topic this week.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
and
It, it was.
I posted a picture of arroz con gandules,
Yeah.
and I posted, you know, because I smothered the ketchup in there because the ketchup I,
Got it. So
I,
neat, you know. I mean, go.
I've taught my kids this,
Yeah.
that ketchup is the chef's kiss to a beautiful artistry of cooking.
But what do you say to the people of the nations that are saying only the Puerto Rican people use ketchup as an additive, as a person, as opposed to some type of natural or more uh, tomato-based, natural-based, more less pasty-based? What do you say to the Latinos out there in the world that are reaching out to the Puerto Rican people and saying, "Hey, what's up with that ketchup on that them eggs and that rice?" And them French
Um,
fries and that steak
you know,
and that
I don't want to.
everything y'all eat.
Yeah, yeah,
What would you say to the people
man.
out there?
I really this weekend I was at a loss for words. You know,
Okay.
because I was being blasted by my own peoples.
Oh, oh, from the inside.
from the
No,
inside.
there's the people that are close that put the most pressure on your life. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead, talk about
It was I got to talk about it because I was hurt. I was hurt over the weekend, and I'm not gonna cry for myself. I wasn't gonna cry. Um,
it.
so I posted a picture of arroz con gandules, remember like rice with beans, and they were
Rice,
like,
you said rice and beans.
yeah,
What?
gandules is like a this is beans, pretty much what it is, without getting
Okay,
into without getting into all the nuances and
rice
details.
and beans. Rice and beans. Go ahead.
But they were like, you don't put rice. They were like, yo, what are you doing? And I'm like taken aback. I'm shocked. I'm surprised. I'm like, what are y'all talking about right now? Like, what is happening?
With the
Well,
rice and beans,
bro, like, I'm gonna put it to you like this.
you put rice and beans and ketchup.
Yeah,
What was the straw that broke the camel's back with your family?
it wasn't my family per se, but
Oh,
it was the Puerto Rican
I mean the
friends.
people.
Yeah, the
What
people.
what was it?
The fact that I put ketchup
Uh,
on the arroz con gandules.
mm,
So it was just one of them things. Persida, she's Puerto Rican. She said Team Ketchup here. So yes, appreciate the. But let me tell y'all something.
mm.
Alex says ketchup on eggs is okay, but there is a line. Woo, woo, woo.
True
But
statement. True
I've
statement.
never tried it. So hey, don't knock it till you try it. That's the word. Don't knock it till you try. But man, I was blasted. I was
Yeah.
put on blast by some, not all, but some of the Puerto Rican culture heritage. And now, but now this is what happened to me, bro.
Yeah.
I began to question if they were really Puerto Rican or not.
You. You know what? But you know what? We'll talk about that at another time because I
Yeah,
know that you know what I'm saying your people are strong in your heart. You know what I'm saying. So you don't want to get into that. We live. But anyways, listen, you guys. You know what I'm saying. This is the Firm Podcast, and we are here bringing the pressure. I had to pull my boy out there for you know what I'm saying. Divulge. Yeah. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because the truth is, we got to start talking about some things that we have to stop doing. We have to talk about some things that we got to stop doing.
mm.
Sick of it, man.
talk to
Tired. Huh?
talk to us, man. What is on your heart and on?
What up, what up, what up, world? It's the firm.
Let's get it. Welcome to the firm.
Oh, it's about to go down.
Set your schedule for 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Saturday Nights Live for a time that's one of a kind.
Woo-wee. There's nothing off the table, no trolling. We go from politics to religion to relationships to whether or not you like crunchy or soft tacos.
Woo! Forget about a love language. What about your love level?
Oh man, we excited for this one.
On all social media platforms.
So make sure you follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok.
Fellowship in a righteous manner. That's the banner.
With your hosts, Flavius and Ulysses. We roll at
6 p.m.
Eastern Standard Time.
Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about not stop the violence, not stop the pattern, not stop the madness, but all the above. How long are you gonna play fair with those that don't? I mean, who do you think you are that you don't think that those that play fair deserve fair, and those that don't play fair don't deserve fair.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Tonight we're gonna talk about a hard topic that's gonna hit home for some of you guys. It's gonna challenge most. It's gonna make you reconsider some choices that you made or some choices that you might have regretted. But the truth is, I bet you if your life is worth living, at the end of it, there'll be less that you regret than those things that you thought you would. The truth is, you know what I'm saying, in a world that's not fair, why are you? You know what I'm saying? And the question that we're gonna get at the end of this, the conversation that we're gonna provoke at the end of this, the pressure that I'm gonna push out of y'all, that you listen gonna push out of y'all, y'all gonna help us understand. You know what I'm saying? If it was all about playing fair, then what is favor? And if favor ain't fair, then where's the line that you draw in life? Because you're playing fair, but are you playing favor?
Sheesh. Bruh.
Man, listen, let's get into it, man. Listen, one of the things that, I realized over time, I think it takes time to realize, or maybe it's just studying, you know what I'm saying, what's in front of you or what people are doing, or maybe you're your own case study. You know what I'm saying? Some people devalue the fact that you might be your own case study, and maybe you, as an experiment of your own, might allow yourself to go through things that others may not, but it's your choice because you're your own case study. Maybe
Right.
you don't think it's fair to study everybody else. Maybe God told you, maybe your faith told you, maybe your heart told you. You can't, when you point one finger at others, there's a whole lot more pointing back at you. Maybe at some point, that level of accountability got to you, so you decided to hold yourself accountable. You decided to watch yourself. You're your own case study. At some point, you're watching yourself go through certain situations. Those situations seem to be tough. Maybe that's what life is. Maybe that's what the world convinced you life is. However it goes, most of us are playing fair in life. We want what is fair in life. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with wanting what's fair in life?
We want it. In relationships, work. Yeah.
I mean, you name it.
Yep.
Cover it and you right.
I think, man, like what is so interesting about this topic, man, is the difference between fair and favor, right? Because this is coming from somebody who grew up in church all their
Okay,
life, essentially all their life.
break it
Uh,
down.
we are taught as believers to be above the drama, right? To be above the mess, you know, to where even if they're not playing fair,
Right,
you do what you're supposed to do, which is to
right.
love them, which is to be kind. Jesus' rule, right? Be kind to them when they persecute you. Bless them when they do whatever to you. If they ask for their shirt, give them the jacket type of stuff. You know, and
That's that's fair.
so growing up with this mindset,
Hmm.
the expectation that I had,
Servanthood.
right, was that every Christian should be doing this
Mm.
until
Yeah,
I learned not every Christian or self-professed Christian
yeah.
plays fair.
I feel you, man.
It was an eye-opening experience for me because at what point do can we? And it's a question that I'm posing to the audience and to you, my brother.
Yes, sir.
At what point do we get to a place where it's like,
Again, say it again. Hold on, I turn my head behind
yes, so at what point do we get to where it's like, I'm done trying to be the peacemaker here. And now I'm going to give the same energy that I'm getting.
me. Anybody in the comment section chiming in?
Now, yeah, so it is a question that's posed to you
Package
guys.
that question. Give it to me one more time.
So
The people, give us the pressure.
we are told, to rise above the mess. And it's not just a church thing, but it's also you see it being taught. You know, when Michelle Obama said it best, right? When they go low, you go high, right?
Yeah,
So
this ain't for the week.
right. So at what point when we realize that the other side isn't going to play fair?
Okay, once we realize they ain't gonna play fair,
At what point do we can start, for lack of better words, right? Uh, Giving that same energy.
give them
With that
that.
same, and like if you're not going to play fair, you know what? Then
Yeah.
time to take the gloves off and go bare knuckles. Like we fighting this thing now because obviously you're not respecting the rules of engagement.
In what ways do they not respect the rules of engagement?
Because usually when people start engaging in conflict or some level of whatever, there's usually like ground rules that are set, right?
Yeah.
Hey, for those who've been through a divorce, I'm sure y'all had conversations of whatever you do, don't involve the children,
Ooh,
right?
that's a big one. Yeah.
Or
Yeah, man.
or they go through certain, like there's always like certain ground rules.
God.
You're not supposed to do this. Let's make sure that we don't do this. And then when you realize at a certain point that they are no longer respecting the rules,
Yeah.
what do we do? What can we do? I mean, because for me personally, I got this teaching in the back of my head
Okay.
that I'm supposed to go high when they go low.
Right.
But me going high,
High. You want the high ground over the low.
but me going high never fixed the situation
Mm.
because they still wasn't playing fair.
Mm. Mm. Talk about it. It's a dirty world, you know what I'm saying? The truth is, man, we watch it all. We like experts at this point
Hold on,
about dirty games. Go ahead.
yeah, hold that thought. So Alejandra says it is better to make distance than to match energy. But
To make
what
distance.
what happens when you can't create distance? What do you do then?
Ooh, you stuck in the
Personally, I
matrix.
have matched energy and create. It does create a mess. I
Okay.
definitely, for sure, I will give you that.
Stuck in a situation you can't get out of.
But yeah, y'all keep commenting. Y'all let us know how y'all feel about it. But go ahead, Flav. The floor is yours, my good sir.
Man, and you know how unfair that feels when you feel like you're stuck in a situation you can't get out of. Just like you were saying, you know what I mean? It's whether it's relationships or things that you wanted to live up to, goals, ambitions, dreams, at some point you live beyond all other people's expectations and you still have to deal with your own expectations about yourself. And wouldn't that be wonderful if that's all you could worry about in life? Like if that's all you could worry about is what other people think and versus what you think, and you live your life, that would be great. That would be simple. That would be easy. But the truth is, man, a lot of people are out here trying to sabotage us. There are a lot of people that just don't like you
Mm,
because you look like them,
mm,
you act like them, you sound like them, you got a family like them, you bounce back from adversities like them. When it was over for them, it wasn't over for you, but they watching it happen for you. You know what I mean? There was a crossroad moment where both of you guys had an identical situation, but yours turned out to be different and they can't stand looking at it. And it's only because you're living it and they're dreaming about it.
mm,
They never became what they wanted to be, and they hate to see that in you. And sometimes, I mean, bro, I've been in El Paso, Texas, in an apartment by myself, away from my whole bloodline and my faith in the church I grew up in, and was in the room by myself, like trying to convince myself, man, that to the devil, trying to convince the devil that, like, what else can you take? How much more can you break? How much more? Like, God, I'm not even perfect. And you still won't let up. I'm watching people just as bad as me or worse. And you just like, I remember myself in El Paso, man, under the Texas skies. Like, you know how Texas skies are, man, full of stars, bro. I remember looking up at them stars. I'm an Indianapolis boy, you know what I'm saying? I'm from Germany, you know what I'm saying? I'm foreign experience in a familiar land, but I'm looking at the stars like, man, is it this serious? Like a wake-up call. oh, you ain't stop until you kill, steal, and destroy. Oh, okay. And then there's so many people that have introduced themselves to me. And I come from a huge family, bro. I promise if anybody ever met anybody in my family, you would feel what love feels like. From the roughest, the realest to the kindest and the nicest, you would feel it if you were in the room. I come from that type of family. That's the cloth I'm cut from. I'm cut from a cloth of love. So when I'm living a life and no matter what I do, the devil don't give up. People show up around that time, man, talking a good game, bro. I know a lot of men out there prepared to talk about how they was played by other women, but there's not a whole lot of men that are prepared to talk about how they was played by other men, old and young men that know how to talk that talk. Hey, you ready to give your life for whatever the cause or the passion that they tell you is right, and they wrong.
Right.
They tricking you. They deceiving you. Matter of fact, you're number 32 in the line of all the people that they've ever played when they ever figured out that a little bit of play will get them a long way. And you think you're the first one, but you're just one in a long line of people that ain't playing fair, women that ain't playing fair, men that ain't playing fair, leaders that ain't playing fair. And you sitting here trying to figure out, because the world told you you had to be fair, how to play fair. The world taught us that. What you say?
Oh, the comment section says Alejandro says when you're a beacon of good, you're inevitably going to attract people with demons.
Not just people with demons, you know what I'm saying? We don't wrestle against flesh and blood, demons themselves. The truth is, you know what I'm saying, that you out here playing fair. What do you think the worst part? What's the downfall of playing fair? What's the, in your opinion? What could be a downfall of playing fair with people that don't? In
Being
the
used,
world that ain't.
being used, being used. Being abused, being um, as you said,
If it
like
was a statistic, it would be 100% of the world.
no, man. I think like the idea of playing fair and what it means to play fair, like from a from a good person point of view, right? For
Mm-hmm.
somebody who wants to do right, for somebody who wants to be amicable with
Come on.
whatever situation that they're dealing with, like okay, like this is obviously this is not going to work between us. So let's try
Mm-hmm.
to make things as peaceful as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Like going through situations where it's like you're trying your best to do the right thing. My idea of playing fair is we set the guidelines, we set the parameters, we set what's going to happen. This is what we're going to
Yeah.
do. I'm going to fulfill my end of the contract, my end of the bargain.
Mm.
And I'm going on blind faith that you're going to do the same, that you are not going to lie, that you're not going to deceive, that you're not going to use, that you are not going to purposely try to set me up to fail. And I think that is one of the hardest things about those who are trying to play fair is that the other side, whether they realize it or not, consciously, subconsciously, they are setting you up for the worst possible outcome. They want you to fail. They want you to suffer because they are choosing not to play fair. And for some people, and this is the part that I love, what I'm about to say next. For some people, it's all in the name of religion, all in the name of God. God is telling me to do this. You know how many times I've had conversations with people, bruh, that was like, well, the reason why I did that is because the Lord told me to. The reason why I didn't do what it is that you expected me to do was because the Lord told me to. And so it's like my idea of who God is different than what your idea is. Because if my God says love,
Mm-hmm.
this is the opposite of love. This is for some people who don't play fair,
Mm-hmm.
what they are doing, again, consciously or subconsciously, I don't know.
Yeah.
right? What they are trying to do, bruh, is they have decided that whatever God is whatever revenge they are looking for, God is not doing it fast enough.
Mm. Mm.
So I'm going to do this in behalf of the Lord.
On the Lord's behalf.
On the
I
Lord,
must.
this is my cross. I got to carry, y'all. I have to punish you because obviously the Lord's not doing it fast enough.
The burden of the Lord is upon me.
For
Spirit of the instead of the spirit of the Lord is upon me. They say the burden of the Lord is upon me, and it is my will to avenge what I believe he ought not deserve for his people to go through. That's a
it's
different judgment, even if you're a righteous judge. That you would punish people for what his people would put you through, as opposed to what his will is. There's so many people out there, man, they will face the day they could not accept the will of a king. It's we passed the point of no return. That's why we doing bringing pressure.
man.
Truth is, man, there's a lot of people out there that are not playing fair, and they will use your emotion against you. They
Come on,
will
bro.
use your own heart against you. They will use your wisdom against you. They will use your experience against you. You tell them your pain, they will use your pain against you. There's some people that are not. I'm talking about, man, we so corporate minded. We think everybody is like everybody, even though we meet so many individuals as if there are no individual enemies. There are people out there that are not playing fair. They don't care what you talking about. I believe that the rate of violence in-house domestic violence would go down if there were some people that understood that or were taught that. Like, you cannot change what you cannot change. And as much as you want to change it, as much as you invest, I'm talking about, bro, you could be concrete to dust, but you still won't be able to grow no wheat. I'm talking about you can toil endlessly without any value at the end. And we see that and we see that and we see that. And what we do is we play fair. What is fair? Fair is based off of what other people think. There's always going to be somebody who has some definition of the word fair, man. The word changes, man. You can read fair in poetry. You can read fair in a journal, in a child's closet. You can read about fair in a church. Hey, favor ain't fair. But the truth is, listen to what came out of the temple. Listen to what came out, the pressure that you blew by your mind, blew past your thoughts, interrupted your life, your whole life. It wasn't a moment word, it was a lifetime word. And sometimes it ripples like water throughout your life. And the truth is, you know what I'm saying? The word that you heard was favor ain't fair. And the one thing that believers can't do is draw a line between the two. The one thing that a lover can't do is draw the lines between the two. The one thing that a logical person can't do is draw the line between the two. Maybe there's some type of boost of brilliance or genius that needs to be in there, but either way, that for some reason we say favor ain't fair, but we live a life trying to be fair, accepting what is fair, seeking what is fair, as opposed to what is favorable.
Mm.
What's the comment say?
Dale says, your fair, my fair could have different meanings.
And and as long as we're bound to what's fair, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
But do you want to be right or do you want to be righteous?
Do you want to be right or do you want to be righteous?
Uh-huh.
Explain that.
People that want to be right want to say things that are facts. People that want to be righteous only speak those things that are truth. Truth is something that is said, not something that is stated. So at the end of the day, if fair varies between individuals and you want to live in the world, then you wrestle with that puzzle of whatever we just said just now. But if you want to cross over to the other side into the favor, then the truth is favor isn't fair. Draw the line, stop talking about what's fair, and cross over into favor. Are you giving people favor? Are you expecting favor? Are you only accepting favor? Are you blurring the lines of what is favor? They told you favor ain't fair. So if favor ain't fair, what are you doing in the affairs of the fair? It doesn't even matter what's fair. That's child's play. Leave that to the world. Favor is what a royal
So,
individual gets.
so what? And so when we say favor isn't fair, and that's wrestle with the aspect of fair,
Mm-hmm.
are you saying that that's where mercy comes in?
You
Right?
can, there is no grace in fair. There's no grace and where there's, and that's what you're talking about when there's mercy. You go back to vengeance if there's no grace involved. Only grace leads you to mercy. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to have mercy on something that isn't worth what it is receiving. So at the end of the day, what is grace? Giving the undeserving something it shall or will most definitely receive.
Mhm.
That's mercy. That's grace. Fair has nothing to do with it. If favor isn't fair, then the truth is grace and mercy could never come through as fair. And while you over here wrestling with how you treating people and what you doing based off of what you doing that's fair to them or fair to this or fair to that, fair to the family code, fair to your name, fair to you as a man or a woman. It doesn't matter. You over here peddling in petty things because the truth is you've crossed over, if you have, into favor. So why are you dabbling in the pond when you have access to the ocean? The ocean is favor. It's where you get lost in the sauce. It's
Right.
where you have so much more peace because you can wade through your life choices and mistakes and failures and ups and downs and still feel like you're above floating above water. That's the ocean.
Mm.
It's broad, it's wide, and you can still swim if you're in it.
Right.
Those that can't won't be in it, but a pond is smaller. It doesn't mean that you can't swim in it. It just means that you're limited in how far you can go.
Right. It it really comes down to perspective. Is what I'm getting from this conversation. Where
Mm.
if it's kind of like when you're having a conversation with somebody, and the first thing they want to tell you is, "Well, that's not fair,"
Right.
right? They say that's not fair because, well, if you do it, then I get to do it.
I
That's fair.
guarantee you, when a person says that they're having a flashback of some past experience, it has nothing to do with anything new in God or anything new in hope or anything new. It's a past tense reaction.
Right. For
That's
sure.
not fair. How do you know? What are you judging it by?
Based off of past.
Something else, some other man, as opposed to something that God never judged you by.
And so, with this difference of perspective, like it, because it's always that whole mind shift, right? It's like, you at one place in your life you was at this level.
Yeah.
The idea and the hope is that through experience, through maturity, that you were here and now you think differently here. And then you think differently here. So now what you used to deal with is down here. So when you look at it, you see from a whole different perspective, right?
Yeah.
You see it from a whole different angle. So it's like, yeah, and instead of concerning myself with what is fair, I'm choosing to give you favor.
Yeah.
And that choice changes the whole mindset now
Man.
because I'm doing something not because of what's fair or what I'm obligated to or what I should do, but I'm doing it because I'm at a different place,
Bro.
right?
If it go ahead. Yeah.
If I'm at a different place, what the language you're speaking down here
Mm-hmm.
no longer concerns me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because the truth of the matter is, when you're dealing with people's feelings or emotions or whatever the case is,
Mm-hmm.
you can acknowledge how somebody feels.
Yeah.
It's the right thing to do. Acknowledge.
True.
I'm going to acknowledge how you feel,
True.
but it doesn't mean I have to approve of how you
Mm.
feel.
Mm.
I can acknowledge without approving.
Mm.
If we go outside and it's sunny, bright outside, no clouds in the sky, and you come out and be like, I feel like it's raining.
Yeah.
I can acknowledge that you feel like it's raining,
Mm-hmm.
but the truth is that it's not. So I can tell you, hey, it is not raining.
Yeah.
And in other words, I don't have to play along with this fantasy.
With your fantasy mental disease. And you know what I'm saying? The truth is, you should be going to psychology, you should be going to get some help. Because you believe in fantasies. And in spite of what you see in front of whoever's out there, you refuse to accept reality. The reality is not that you're crazy. The reality is not that you're unhealthy. The reality is not that you need to rewrite the shape of your life and history. The truth is, everything that you've experienced has produced what you are, and what you are is what is necessary. However, there are people that are holding you to a standard of right and wrong. They've even blended right and wrong and blurred the lines of what is moral. And in that morality, there's a thin line between what's fair and not fair. And because of your human dignity, your human being, your soul, life of the breath of life in you in a human vessel, you're a living, breathing soul. And the fact that you deserve your forefathers' name creation, who is anybody to play with you? If you were to be conscious of a little bit of your humanity, your roots. Who is humanity to play with you? Being aware of all the stuff that they're talking about, they're aware of. The truth is, they are aware of you. They see you for exactly who you are. The truth is, you're amazed that your ability to manifest is not changing them. It's not changing the world around you. Your word of faith, your ability to speak what you see somehow just didn't happen 2 years ago. You're 2-3 years past what you said it should be, and you're just holding on the hope of what it should be, trying to play the game as fair as you possibly can. And I'm here to break the fourth wall and tell you, listen, I'm here to break the gates of heaven and tell you, listen, stop playing fair. You're going to lose playing the way you playing this game. There's some real snakes out here that deserve for you to treat them exactly the way you're treating them. The fact is, your heart is so good that you can't live with the way you got to treat some people. The truth is, you can't live. Your heart is so good. That's the part you can't live with. How could my heart be so good? How could my heart be so pure? How could I have come so far, be so strong and so rooted and grounded and have to cut people off and have to see your way through multiple relationships and marriages? How could I be so righteous and I'm so full of belief, man? There's some people whose lives might as well, as far as I'm concerned, depend on my prayer life, but somehow in that prayer closet, you still going through stuff that other people are going through. The truth is, it's pressure. God is allowing this on you, and the truth is, you are out here believing that your survival depends on you playing it fair. Stop. 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 They think you weak because of the way you playing it. They think they can keep on putting you through this over and over. I'm gonna be honest with you, they really believe that you ain't gonna never figure it out. This is the fifth time and you still gonna let them go through it and put you through it. That somehow in your life you are locked in this place that you have never grown from, and they can play you like the last record, an old fiddle. You ain't fine wine, you the old fiddle. And the truth is, the Bible says you can't put what is old in something that's new. So the reason why you feel like life is getting ready to implode or explode, or the pressure that you feeling, is because you too busy trying to put old ways up against new attacks, up against new.
Yes, sir.
And it feels like it's not for you to feel like you're going to implode. It's the fact that it's supposed to explode, because you can't put something new in something old. So some of y'all have heard that in church. Can I tell you something? A secret, you listen?
Talk to us. Talk to us, bro. You on fire
Some
right
people have heard about putting the old wine in new wineskin.
now. Mm-hmm.
And that if you do that, it's going to bust. And some of us have read that, believing, walking away believing we are old wine. It's too late for us. We've been through too much. We made too many mistakes. The caution of busting a new wineskin is because you've already been determined to be new wine. You think you might be old, but the truth is, you wouldn't. If you were old wine, you wouldn't even be going into new wineskin in the first place. Old wine got to sneak in. You've been designated, designed. The world will never be for you. There are going to be people in your life that will not play fair. They're just not. And they would rather live beside you, have a child with you or a relationship with you, and live beside you in misery, because misery loves company, than to see you ever walk away happy living a life without them. And you're out here playing fair, making truces, trying to make peace with an enemy that is calling you everything, including the devil. You out here shaking hands, trying to pray and make peace with somebody that's calling you the devil, evil, you're wicked, you're a liar. I mean, they saying the worst stuff in the world about you. And you out here like, I'll go give them this turkey this Thanksgiving still, and this dressing. And they out here, and you playing fair for what? Because you don't understand the difference between peace when it comes to fair and favor. There is no peace in fair. Fare thee well is something that's a statement that you might hear in old movies or something. Fare thee well. Why? Why? I always think there wouldn't be a statement unless there was a contrary to it. Fare thee well. Why? Because often most people don't. They don't fare well. You ever heard of a fair weather friend? People don't, it just don't work out that way. That's the nature of it in any fairy tale. It's a loop of lies. But if you mix over to favor, you'll find that there's no reason to play fair where there's no favor. Sometimes, man, I do people right only because I see a glimpse of hope of God that one day, what if I'm their supervisor? What if I'm their boss? And they're a boss too, but what if I'm over them and I need them to help me do other things? Am I going to take the chance of crossing them? Am I going to take the chance of all the things that they're doing, not playing fair? Is that going to trick me out of what I could be if I was above them? And not thinking, oh man, when I'm above them, I'm going to rain down fire. But if I'm above them, maybe I can alleviate some of the problems that they're complaining about that are above them. And it's a benefit for me and my kids and my family and my generations. I'm supposed to be a blessing to my generation. So maybe I'm not being a pushover. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I see that they're not playing fair. I see it. And I'm not trading evil for evil. I'm not trading fairy tale for fairy tale, fair for fair, unfair for unfair. Maybe I see the truth and I'm done playing fair. Now I'm going to play on favor, because the truth is there's people in the church that said, you're a prophet. The truth is there's people that were in church that said, you're anointed. The truth is there are people that confirmed you are a son of God, that you're called. We're going to give you a license. We're going to put you through school. We see you as a leader. Your biggest battles usually come whenever you're getting ready to take the next step. I see your friends. I got the type of friends that will come into town, and the church where I believe I may be being restored, that leadership that is faithful and true in the restoration, get a word afterwards. How people say, when you pour out, who's gonna pour into you? Bro, we watch. And people worrying about what's fair. On that black guy and that Puerto Rican guy, they went over there, you know what I'm saying? This one dude came over here, he ain't had enough time experience over here. He ain't paid enough bills that I paid. And you getting so caught up in what is fair that you're missing out on the favor. That's the sad part. That's the reason why I would tell anybody to stop playing fair. You wasting your time, man. There's so much favor out here. You have no idea. And some of us do, and some of you do.
Right.
Forget about fair. Stop playing fair. They do you dirty. Stop saying they're doing you dirty. They are doing you true. You
You know,
have to do
I
them true also.
I think
They're
and
doing you right. You're gonna need to do them right also. You keep saying it's negative or wrong the way they doing you, but the truth is, if you sitting on the game board and if it was Monopoly or chess or checkers or anything else, you would understand the nature of the game. You need to win. But you over here trying to play chess. You can get it in a geriatric game, but you can't get it in the game of life.
no,
It's time to win.
it's
Stop
it's
playing.
it's
Go
it's
ahead.
it's a good point what you're making, man, because really it's and it's a thin line, right? Because when you're involving circumstances, when you're involving experiences, when you're involving other people's emotions and feelings, the outlook is to be, is to tread softly, tread carefully, because and especially in this day and age where everybody gets offended so easily
Yeah.
by something that I don't like what you said, you la la la, and it's like, so
How does a babe learn to judge?
how does a babe learn to judge
Mhm.
from what they see?
You judge according to your fruit. Somehow we live beyond the eyes of babes, but we get baffled when the Bible says, and a child shall lead them. Some of us have gotten too deep for ourselves. The truth is, we are ignoring the evidence. The evidence that you are does not line up with the evidence you're dealing with, and you're playing according to their word as opposed to the word of God. God speaks favor. He don't speak fair. Otherwise, preachers would not say favor isn't fair.
I mean, and the Bible is clear where he says that it doesn't say that the God gives fairness to whom he chooses to give fairness to.
There
It's
would be no Jacob.
it's favor to whom he chooses to give favor to. So the main thing is understanding that just because somebody doesn't agree with you
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean that they're against you, right?
Mm.
But to be able to use wisdom and discernment to know exactly who was who and what's and what. The main thing is if you're in a parental relationship of husband and wife, or father, parent to child,
Yeah.
we tell our children
Hmm.
what's going to help them, even when they don't want to hear it.
Correct.
We're giving them favor by telling them, hey, we tell them without telling them, I've been through this before. I have the wisdom to tell you that that's not going to work.
Right.
We 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 understand that from a parental child relationship.
And sometimes you have to be a father or a mother and a grandfather or grandmother to understand that. You may be one way with your kids, but with your grandkids, they can do no wrong. Even though they cut.
For sure, for sure.
Look
But
at you right there.
for sure, for sure.
Not
But
me yet, but
but,
but
but man, but what is so powerful about what you're saying is that relationships change, right?
they do.
My relationship with God is because it's like my relationship with my mom is different than my relationship with my daughter.
Correct.
My relationship with my
Okay.
daughter is different than my relationship with my son. It's
Okay.
different than my relationship with my brother.
Right.
My family, my relationship with Flavius is different than how I did with my brother.
True.
So relational, Relationship, when it comes to relational aspects, we have different experiences with different people.
Correct. Correct.
When it
And we're
comes,
and go ahead.
go,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, and we're not saying when we say stop playing, is a disclaimer to all you hard-headed, immature believers out there. You know what I'm saying? You know who you are. You know what I'm saying? You're still living your life. You know what I mean? Doing your thing, and God got you, and can't nobody question it. I'm talking to you, the diehards. We're not saying stop playing fair, do everybody dirty. As you, if you can read, there is no statement beyond what we're saying. So I just want to make that announcement. We're not saying stop playing. By not playing fair, that equates negativity. That is your MK Ultra. Y'all out here worrying about aliens and what's going on, and you know what I'm saying, CGI presidents and people ain't dead and clones and all this other stuff. But it's like sometimes it's better to believe fantasy than to accept that exactly what you're saying is playing out in front of your face.
It's real. It's
I
real.
remember I remember a movie called Demolition Man coming out before Arnold Schwarzenegger was ever the governor. Sometimes things happen, whether they're programmed, whether they are by design, whether they are predicted, whatever the case may be. And what I'm saying is that it's too late in the game for you to take the chance of letting somebody play you. And I know that you might be in your private life away from everybody. Maybe it's tough. Maybe you crying. Maybe it's, I don't know what you're going through, but it's probably real life, real stuff that most people can probably relate to. With that being said, like, it is valuable that you still are here. There's other people that have given up, would have given up, will give up, and you won't. And you're over here trying to play fair based off of your grandma, your mom and your dad, your last generation in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the 20 cultural, popular, whatever the case may be, man. Whatever the standard changes as time goes on, but the one thing that does not change is favor. A judge will give you exactly what you deserve. A righteous judge will give you what he has for you.
Sheesh. No, it's
So while other people out here playing fair, it's time to really start playing favorites. Everybody be talking that talk. Do your thing in silence and come up in silence. And you know what I'm saying? Don't let the devil eat the prince of the powers of the air. He can hear your whispers over here and over here. He can read your mind. And you got to strategize if you trying to get. And you out there just playing fair. Hey, listen, you guys, I want you to understand me, feel me. Let me tell you my whole little plan and situation. And then wonder why you getting attacked. Wonder why you going through certain things. The
you know
truth is not because of what you say or don't say. It's because of who you are. You're worthy of your attacks. The depression that you're going through, the emotions that you're going through, you're not supposed to alleviate it. It's only what the strong experience. That's why so many poets and passionate people come out of pain. They're the only ones that can make it through it enough to articulate what they're going through. And what I'm saying, what we're saying through the pressure is you've been playing fair for too long. Stop. It ain't getting you nowhere. Favor.
here's
Stop.
one thing that I learned. One thing that I learned is, and this was a situation that I was going through when I was going through my divorce.
Oh.
And from the separation to the whole divorce, the idea of playing fair was something that I tried to do.
Right.
And Flavius and I had a conversation one day, and I woke up one day and I just realized that I'm trying to make peace with somebody whose intent was to create war. You're trying to make peace with a situation, with a person, and their intent is to create chaos, is to create war. They create war because you are not giving them what they want. If you give them what they want, that's what their idea of peace is.
And it can change. This is what's fair today. A month or two from now, we go back to court. We go back to whatever. Here's what I think is fair now. I thought about things and reevaluated things, and this is what I think is fair now. Next thing you know, you like 2-3 years. That's hope. That's if you lucky enough to be going through that type of stress in a relationship. Some people got to go through that with blood. They
It's,
don't
it's
never get to escape they cousin, brother, sister, uncle, auntie, mom, dad, or whatever.
so so
And
so
they
here
playing fair but
so
favored.
here's the thing that I want to share with y'all. The thing that I want to share with y'all is this: at what point do you start thinking about you? At what point do you start
Sorry, y'all.
thinking about you? Right? Because for
Oh
for,
my
for, for
God.
for those of us who got them big hearts, like as Flavia said earlier in the conversation, like we don't want to do nobody dirty. We don't want to create more problems than needed. We don't want to offend. We don't want to to step on toes. We don't want to cross the line. But at what point do you start thinking about you? At what point do you start thinking about, okay, in order for me to love my neighbor, I have to first love me. And when you learn how to love you, you know how you want to be treated. You know how you need to be treated. It's no longer about what is fair. It's about, this is my boundary. You will not cross this boundary no more. And if you don't know how to knock on the door instead of trying to climb through the window, then I have the right to cut this relationship off. I have the right to keep you at a distance, because it's no longer about what is when you once you learn how to love you, it's no
Mhm.
longer about being fair. It's about boundaries. This is what I need. And if you can't give me what I need, being a peacemaker is not about just creating about it's not about having peace. It's not about creating a truce. Being a peacemaker is making peace. And as Ronald Reagan says it best, like, you make peace, but you got to carry a big stick. You, you
Man.
you have to understand that sometimes in order to make peace, you have to confront. You have to go to war. And if once you learn that, and going to war, we ain't talking about creating stuff, going to attacking. We're talking about this. This is what the boundary is. This is what's going to happen. And if you start having issues with what I'm choosing not to give you, either this is going to work out, or you can find somebody else.
Man.
You can harass somebody else. You can take it to court if you want to. You can take it to HR if you want to. But whatever it is that you want to do, I'm not allowing this to go any further. Creating peace, the idea of playing fair, the idea of favor, the idea of what would Jesus do, when we see what Jesus does. We seeing that He was kind, merciful, compassionate to the people, but boy, he carried a big stick when it came to the Pharisees and the Sadducees and all the other C's that you may want
Oh.
to read and all that stuff. He wasn't playing fair with them. He he,
Mm-hmm.
he called a spade a spade.
And I'm gonna say this, man. If there was a snapshot of what I believe, you listen, man, we known each other for a minute. If there was a snapshot of this conversation that we want to convey to you, it's not that we're the celebrity. It's not that we're the star of the show. It's not the one that we're not the ones standing on the hill at the end of a revelation. You are. You've had revelations. You've had your awakenings. You've had your epiphanies. You've had those moments. And it's not about kicking yourself for not paying attention to when they hit you the first time. It's about the value of the fact that others ignore them, but you're still getting them. And those moments of clarity, you're standing on that hill. And we are the ones, the firm, the pressure, that after the end of you, I'm talking about you gave somebody your all and they squandered it. I'm talking about you did everything you were supposed to do and some. I'm talking about sacrifice and you can't even tell people the devil and the enemy done lied so hard to solidify. You can't even keep up with the lies. Trying to tell the truth of who you. I mean, you're the one that's standing on that hill, and here come me and Ulysses. Your arms are tired. You've been going through the battle. You've been fighting the fight. Your proteges is down there doing what they doing, and the truth is, you a boss out here getting it. Here come me and Ulysses. We walking right beside you. We just happen to have a privileged spot to get close, and we lifting up your arms. I got one side, my bro got the other side. We know you going through some pressure in life. And we trying to hold you up saying you trying to be fair, but you got access. You got knowledge. You got intelligence. You got beauty. You got a spirit. You got strength. You got education. You got the experience. You got the generations behind you. You got the tenacity, the ambition. You got the drive
Mm.
to get out, to get yourself through it, to get us through it, to get your family through it, to keep maintaining. Playing fair is all right. We done went long enough. We got them. They got us. Let's call it a truce. Let's take a break. Nah, here come me and Ulysses lifting your arms up. Nah, it's time to stop playing fair. You are favorite. We love you. You are our favorite. When it comes to the firm, we're looking at you. We're looking at your example. You may not know it. You can't see it, but we're watching your strength. It's not just your support for us. It's what you're doing while we're watching and you don't know it. That's the easy part. You out there shining. You on the battlefield. Stop playing fair with an unfair enemy. Accept that you got enemies. Accept that you got foes. God ain't gonna judge you for what you do to crush your enemies. When you trample over foot serpents, God ain't judging you for trampling them over. He ain't say, oh man, you stepped on that one serpent too hard. Oh, you was talking to that one serpent a little rough when you had stepped on his head and his back and his tail, and you just, you know, you kind of rubbed it in like, yeah, what you get, what you. There ain't no, Bible, there ain't no scripture. It just says you gonna
Mhm.
trample over serpents. You gonna prevail. You gonna win. Stop judging what it looks like to win. Stop trying to play fair in a game that you're meant to win. You're only playing it fair because you believe something that LeBron don't believe, something that Kobe don't believe, something that Michael Jordan don't believe, something that presidents don't believe, something that a lot of great leaders out there just don't believe. You believe that if you play fair, they gonna play fair. And if you play fair the most, everything gonna work out. 2023, we're going into 2024. It ain't true. They never gonna change. It's time for you to get the I think I saw a picture of you, Ulysses, man, while you was on vacation talking about grabbing an iguana that you was thinking about capturing and taking it home. You was thinking about playing with lizard creatures. And people out here talking about run for the reptilians. And it's a matter of perspective, man. It's a matter of perspective.
Yeah.
Stop playing fair, play favorites. Make sure that you understand that if God has favored you, what's wrong with you being your favorite? How you gonna treat other people the way you want to be treated? If somebody you like, man, mom and dad got their favorites, you know the value of a favorite. And that could be you. That's you. And you supposed to treat others how you want to be treated, and you ain't treating other people like a favorite. Not like they're the favorite, but
you
like
ain't
you
treating
are.
yourself. Like you ain't treating yourself.
You ain't treating
Come on,
yourself
bro.
like you a favorite. If you
Come on, bro.
did, you would be like, yo, I know you ain't talking to me like that. I'm one of the, you know what I'm saying? I know people that just had this Thanksgiving, probably somebody gave that vibe. Oh yeah, he must be the favorite in the family because he was like, yo, I know you ain't talking to me. I talk to pops like this. Don't nobody talk to moms and pops like this. I talk to them like. But if we can see it in real life, we can see it in what you always say, Ulysses, man. It's true in the natural, it's true in the spiritual.
What's true in the natural is true in the spiritual. What up, Storm? What up, Storm?
What's going on, sir? We bringing that pressure.
No, it's
You know who you got to be to put a pressure in a minute?
in it for a minute.
Get into that. We ain't going. It's
Come on,
all combined. It's all.
We missed that. We missed it in it for a minute for sure. That's a lot of pressure right there. We ain't putting no pressure on you, Storm. We ain't putting no pressure on you.
We don't miss it. This is
Bishop Stokes in the building.
Sometimes you don't smell the smoke till after the whip is gone.
No, man, but you know what is so powerful, man, and this is gonna be my closing because I know we've been here for a minute. Closing this out.
We've been in it for a minute.
We've been here for a minute ourselves. Yeah. So Storm said that he got to bring it back. He said it's confirmation. Yeah, bro. Bring it back. Bring it back.
Man. Telling you. Wish it was my idea.
But you know, man,
a minute for a minute. You want some pressure. I'm about to. What can we think of? Not in a minute for a minute. Let me take it.
But man,
finna finish in a minute. No, I was playing. Go ahead.
When I got deployed to Kuwait.
Mm-hmm.
I got deployed to Kuwait, and we were at an Air Force base. And one of the things that I realized about really how powerful the U.S. military is that these F-16 and F-15s they go faster than the speed of sound. That's what they're designed to do.
Yes, sir.
Literally, a jet will fly over you, and you not even know it to like 5 seconds, 10 seconds afterwards, because it takes the sound a minute to catch up. So enemies don't even know they dead. Period. Because they don't hear it coming. They don't now catch what I'm saying. They don't hear it coming. with God, we have an advantage, y'all. What happens when you stop? Because the U.S. military, listen, y'all, they're not playing fair. The purpose of being a peacemaker, the purpose of going to war is to have the advantage.
Mm.
It's to have the advantage. I had to learn that the hard way. I had to learn that keeping other people's issues to myself was not an advantage to me. It was an advantage to them because they weren't exposed.
Yes, sir.
And so
Yes,
I thought
sir.
I thought I was operating out of a place of humility.
Mm-hmm.
I'm being humble. I'm being humble. I'm being humble. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna go high while they go low because
And they go.
I can easily. Man, I used to have. I mean, I would call Flavius. I wouldn't even say hello. I'll just come out screaming. I cannot believe. I cannot believe because I was so upset and frustrated with certain outcomes until I realized again, like I'm trying to be a peacemaker to somebody whose purpose is to create war, create chaos. So
Mm.
once I began to realize that that it's not about playing fair anymore. It's about creating the advantage.
Mm.
And just like the F-16 that you don't know is past you until 10 seconds later when the sound finally catches up.
Mm.
What happens when your mindset shifts, when your mindset changes, and you realize that it's not about whether or not I'm doing somebody wrong, but it's about whether or not I can move forward. Yes, I'm supposed to be a blessing to those who persecute me. Yes, I'm supposed to humble myself. Yes, I'm supposed to be kind to people who are not kind to me. But it doesn't change how I love myself.
Mm.
The moment you stop loving yourself to cater to other people
Mm-hmm.
is the moment you lose yourself. People will always have an issue with you when you love yourself. Ain't that strange? Ain't that funny? Why does it always seem to happen that way? Because you're not giving them what they expect. You're not giving them what they believe is fair.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
And you know what? I want to say this, to this point. He said, love others as you love yourself. Love others as you love yourself. How much do you love someone that hates themselves? Have you ever experienced somebody that does not love themselves? So when you're trying to love others like you love yourself, and that person doesn't love themselves, so they definitely can't love you. It is not fair. You have to stop playing fair with your love.
Mm.
You have to. It's the only way to not be a victim. You are trying to play fair with your love, and you are getting your heart broken, and you're mad because you know you could have stopped it. Why? You're kicking yourself. This person is out of your life and you still learning lessons. Why? Because you know you was playing it fair and
Mm.
you was not, it was not your favorite situation. It was not You didn't have your favorite days. You didn't have a favorite time. You didn't feel like the favor of God is on that situation. You even talk about it like, man, God was showing me so many different. The Lord rescued me out of that. Man, had I made this decision and locked this in and God stopped me, you're talking about the difference between favor and fair. The truth is, man, just like you said, if you don't wake up, if people don't stop playing fair, what's the worst that can happen? If you don't stop playing fair, somebody is going to show up to you. They're going to say everything they want, think, hope you need to hear. And they're not even locked into their past or their last time they recited what they said to somebody like you. Your individual response will prompt how they adjust. Just like on a basketball court, they will pivot according to your individuality. You wasn't like the last team point guard, but you're a point guard. I can't play every point guard the same way, so let me try to play you this way. And you in here trying your best to play fair while somebody elbowing you in your mouth. They hitting you with low blows every chance they get.
Mm.
They calling you every. Thank God. Thank God. The word of mouth movement is a false farce. Thank God. Because if I believe that what people said could possibly manifest, do you know the terrible things people have said about me? Called me evil, called me a cheater, a thief, a liar,
A devil.
Wicked, evil, deceitful. If people's words could manifest the way the church lies to them and tells them that they could, bro, I dread the man I would be today. I would hide myself in a forest away from anybody that can speak because of the terrible things that people say, whether I deserve it or not. Some people, I deserved it 20 years ago. You still talking about that same stuff? Everybody I did it to, that they gone now. They dead now. They passed on, natural causes, kidney stone, and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? And we old now. We got gray hairs now. You still
Not
talking
kidney,
about what I did to them people?
not kidney stones. Not
Yeah,
kidney
we
stones,
we
bro.
we we done outlived the faults, but you still bringing it up. The truth is, man, we playing fair with people that are not. And there's nobody in heaven that told us we have to.
Mm.
Nobody, there's no scripture that says that it actually, because of the lack of support for us to play fair with those that are in the world, we're supposed to be chasing off wolves. We're supposed to be cunning. We're supposed to be wise and servant. We're supposed to be
Why is a serpent's
everybody. I'm
equal as
a
devil?
watchman. I don't know how that person came into my life and broke my heart. How? You supposed to watch over the people. You can't even watch out for yourself. You too busy playing fair, playing Mr. Nice Guy, Mr. Nice Girl. You can convince yourself all day long that that's the way God told you to live. The people in the Bible probably sound like foreigners to you. You probably can't relate to most of them. If you find yourself being able to relate to anybody that's in the Bible, more than likely, these are people that woke up and understand that the world isn't fair, that the people that were there aren't fair, that just because Nebuchadnezzar is a king, and just because you respect that I have an anointing, and just because you respect that I have a gift, and just because my people tell you that I got abilities and have had dreams, and I should be with your magistrates, that now you want me to go bow down to you the same way you so jealous of the way I serve my God. You want me to serve you the same way. All right, I play fair. All right.
I'll
Love you.
compromise. I'll
Yeah,
compromise.
this is my heavenly Father. I'll call you Father too. This is my holy. I'll call you the same thing too. No separation. No
I'll
distinction.
compromise.
No full compromise. But you playing fair, believing that God is okay with it when the truth is you should be playing favorites like them. No, he's my favorite. And no matter what it costs me, you or anybody else, he's my favorite. I'm his favorite, and I just want to eat what I want to eat. Not because you think this is what's best for me, but this is what I think is best for me. This is the best. I'm the favorite, and this is my diet. Look at those wrinkly old people over there aging rough. I know they say black don't crack, but that's something else over there. I don't know what to tell you. But either way, either way, the Hebrew boys was like, they looked fairer, they were better, they survived the flames because they stopped playing fair. And when they stopped playing fair, they became the favorites. The favorite is what manifests. They manifested as the favorites. Go ahead.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Listen, y'all. Y'all know that we could be on here for another hour and 41 minutes just with just the knowledge, the revelation
Yeah, we
that we've
started
got.
too early. We gotta start late if y'all want to cut off in an hour.
But listen, y'all, we appreciate every single one of you guys that have joined us tonight. The comment section was popping. And that's all thanks to you. And the wisdom that you guys are dropping, the knowledge that you guys are dropping, we appreciate it every single much, very much. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you heart this video. If you haven't yet, share this video. Let the people know that good content is out there. As well, for those who are following us on Facebook or want to follow us on Facebook, at the Firm 365 24/7 on Facebook is where you'll find us. On YouTube, at the Firm 365 is where you can find us, and same thing as TikTok. Make sure that you, if you go on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit the notification bell, and also, y'all, share the content. Share the content. It helps us out, and also it will help out somebody in your friends list that might need to hear
You know what I'm
about,
saying?
hey, stop playing fair.
No.
You know, life happens. We go through stuff. You're not a bad person for taking care of you. Don't allow people to make you feel guilty, feel bad for taking care of you.
That's
Understand
right,
that sometimes that some people's issues is not real. And you can be honest, you can be truthful about that whole situation. But listen, y'all, with that being said, we love you guys. I hope y'all have a great rest of your Sunday evening. Thank you for spending time with us for this beautiful Sunday evening. And
Yes,
we'll see
sir.
y'all next week.
Next week.
Y'all be safe.
Love y'all.